Hey y'all, it's Brittany. Welcome back. We are back with a new dupe comparison featuring Dossier and the Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. So, if you are interested in Dossier's version of the Soleil Blanc by Tom Ford and you want to know if their version is a good dupe or a good tribute to the Soleil Blanc, stay tuned. All right, y'all. So everyone who has been riding with me since the beginning or even since recently and you've subscribed recently, thank you and welcome back. Missed you, sis. Missed you, sir. For those of you who are just finding me, welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss other videos like this and everything else that I have popping off on this channel. But today we are going to hop into a nice dupe comparison featuring Dossier's version or tribute to Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc. For those of you who are not familiar with the brand Dossier, Dossier is a company that makes luxury fragrance inspired luxury fragrances, if that makes sense. So typically what they do is they take a fragrance, in this case it is Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc, and they take that, they look at the notes, and they create a fragrance that is their version, that is inspired by the Tom Ford original version. The level of potency of the fragrances is usually about a level of an eau de parfum. So for those of you who are not familiar, there is eau de toilette, which has the lowest concentration of the perfume oils. And then there is the eau de parfum. And then on top of that, with the highest concentration or the highest potency, it is the actual parfum. So we are talking about an eau de parfum. So you're usually going to get about 4 to 6 hours of wear out of an eau de parfum versus a parfum, which is all day, honey. That should stay on there forever until you wash your clothes, etc., etc. The goal for them is to make these pretty well concentrated fragrances that are luxury quality, but at a much more affordable price. So the price ranges from about $29 to $59. And it's a much more affordable way for people who can't afford $250 in this case for the Soleil Blanc 1.7 ounce. If you can't afford that, then companies like Dossier are perfect for your pocketbook when you're trying to find something that smells just as good and smells just as quality, but it doesn't hit your budget as hard. So specifically today, we'll be looking at Dossier's Floriental Coconut. Now, if you followed me or if you've watched my other collection videos, then you know I have a pretty hefty collection of Tom Ford. That is one of my favorite fragrances brands. And I do already own the Soleil Blanc. It is this one. So it's the refillable travel size that I have. And I've worn this out before. I do love it. It's a great summer fragrance. It is what they call a solar fragrance. And it smells really good. It smells really coconutty. It almost smells golden. But for me, at least, it doesn't have very long of a wear. And it is one of Tom Ford's higher priced tier fragrances. So you're talking about $250 for a bottle of this fragrance. And for me, I just wish that it would last longer. At least in my experience so far, the couple times that I've worn it out, it seems to fade pretty quickly. So I'm hoping that the Dossier version smells close enough to it and has a longer longevity of wear. So first of all, let's hop into the Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. This is the refillable travel size. And this is $65. 10 milliliters is $65. The 1.7 ounce is $250. And that's usually the size that most people will buy. Let's take a look at the actual notes for the Tom Ford fragrance. This is also a part of the warm and spicy family. If you follow me again, you know that I love me some warm and spicy. I love me some gourmands. I love me some musk, all of that. A little bit of patchouli, right up my alley. So this one, the scent type is Warm and Sweet Gourmands. So the top notes for the Soleil Blanc is the bergamot, pistachio, cardamom, and pink pepper. The heart notes or middle notes are liang liang, Egyptian jasmine, and tuberose. And then the base notes are benzoin, amber, tonka bean, and coconut milk. That is the breakdown of the actual original Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. Now let's look at our notes for the Dossier version of that, which is the Floriental coconut. So this is what the product looks like. And as you can see, it has the notes on here actually. So you can find them there. They also come with a card with some information on it. The concentration is there, the notes, the perfume that it's inspired by, and how the process works for trying this out is all included on the card when you order. So the top notes for this one is cardamom, pistachio, and bergamot. So same 3 top notes that we saw in the actual Tom Ford. I think the only thing missing in that top note is pink pepper. Middle notes, we see liang liang, tuberose, and jasmine. So exactly the same middle notes as Soleil Blanc. And base notes, we have amber, benzoin, coconut, and cedarwood. Now, cedarwood is something different. The actual Soleil Blanc has the benzoin, it has the amber, and it has the coconut milk, but it also has tonka bean. And instead, this one, instead of having the tonka bean, it has cedarwood. So we'll see if we notice any difference, especially in the dry down, since we're talking about base notes. We'll see if we notice any differences in the two. But so far, for the most part, they seem extremely comparable. So now it's time to do our spray test. I will put the Soleil Blanc on this hand, and then I will put the Dossier version of that, the Floriental coconut, on this hand, and we'll see how it goes. I don't even have to spray my Tom Ford Soleil Blanc to tell y'all it smells exactly the same. My God. So right off top, I just want to show y'all something. I don't know if you can see the sheen on my hand, but this is 18% concentration of perfume oil. And I sprayed like 3 or 4 sprays on my hand, but you can see, literally see the oil. And it's potent. It's potent, but in a good way. Like I said, I love the Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. I wish it lasts longer. I think I may have found the answer, y'all. Okay, let's get into these comparisons. All right, y'all. So again, this is the Floriental coconut, and this is the Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. I smell the cardamom, I smell the bergamot, I smell the pistachio in both of these. I smell the jasmine coming through. I smell the coconut coming through. The tuberose, all of that is there. The only thing that's different, and I actually don't mind it missing from the Floriental coconut, is the pink pepper. It makes the Soleil Blanc just a little bit more spicy, but I can live without it. Pink pepper is not my favorite additive or favorite ingredient that makes it a spicy fragrance, so I can live without it. This is already fading. Like, I really have to, it's not as potent. This is hello, okay? So right off top, potency, concentration, Dossier wins over Tom Ford. And I did not think that I would say that in any way. I didn't think that that would be something that I would be saying right now. The lover of Tom Ford fragrances, the person who probably owns at least 10 Tom Ford fragrances. Y'all got to step up y'all game on these concentrations. You can't be charging people $250 for Eau de Toilette concentration. This is definitely, like I said, heavier, more concentrated. It's more forward in your face. It's something that you would smell walking into a room, someone having it on, walking into a room, you'd smell it instantly. Whereas when I put on the Tom Ford, it's kind of like you have to be up close and personal, giving me a hug kind of thing to even smell it. And you have to put your nose in the right place where I sprayed it. Otherwise, you're not really going to smell it. This has sillage. Tom Ford does not. Hands down. That was my biggest gripe with the fragrance itself. One thing I will say is if you're going to douse yourself in the Dossier, because it is an 18% concentration of the perfume oil, make sure you don't put too much in one spot on your clothing. You don't want to do that because it won't dry and disappear, evaporate like an eau de toilette would do. So, and that's with any parfum or properly concentrated eau de parfum. You want to make sure that you're not concentrating those sprays in one area because you're going to have an oil stain, sis. I also love cedarwood, so I actually prefer the Dossier, over the Soleil Blanc. What is happening, y'all? What is this world coming to? Where I prefer a inspired fragrance over the actual fragrance, but it's better quality. It's better quality. 3 points for me. So it is the actual scent, the concentration, and the price. So first is the scent. I actually prefer the Dossier scent because it's slightly less spicy. Now that it's drying down, the Tom Ford, I'm getting much more of the pepper, the pink pepper. Dossier wins just slightly because it has that cedarwood and not so much of that pink pepper. In terms of concentration, this is still kicking, okay? This has my room full versus like it's getting really hard to smell this on my hand, and that's a shame. So in terms of concentration, Dossier wins, hands down. And then finally, price, y'all already know who won. Dossier wins in terms of price. The Dossier Floriental Coconut is $39. This is a 1.7 ounce. It is $39 versus $250 for the Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. Hands down, Dossier wins. This is the first time that I've found a dupe that smells exactly like, to the normal nose, it smells exactly like the actual fragrance. I've tried a couple of their other fragrances. I've tried their version of the Le Labo Santal 33. And I've also tried their version of the Baccarat Rouge. But this one is the first one that I found that smells just like the actual fragrance. And it wins out over the actual fragrance. It wins out in price, it wins out in concentration, and it wins out in the scent for me. So this is a definite keeper, y'all. This one is hands down, I will be wearing this. I can wear that every day in the summer. It's perfect for spring, summer. You might get away with it in the early months of fall, so that autumn time where we're just transitioning, you could probably still rock this. It's also a unisex fragrance, so men, women can both wear it. All around, it's definitely a win-win. So let me know in them comments down below, y'all. Have y'all tried either the Tom Ford Soleil Blanc or the Dossier version of it as well? What are your thoughts on it? Do you like one over the other? Let me know in them comments down below. Also, let me know if there's any other ones that you'd like me to try out, any other brands that you would like me to try out and compare to some of the things that I have in my collection. You know, I'm always down for recommendations, y'all. So other than that, y'all, I will leave some information down below with a nice little discount for y'all on top of whatever sale or anything that's going on Dossier's website. You can check it out down below. I'll have the link for the actual Floriental Coconut as well as the percentage off, the code that you can use. Make sure that if you have not subscribed already that you go ahead and subscribe. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post new content. I'm doing all types of stuff. I do hair, protective styles, luxury fragrances, obviously. And I also do true crime and makeup and skincare now. So make sure you hit that notification bell and you subscribe. Okay, sis and sir? Thank you. Make sure you also like the video. It means a lot to me when you engage by either liking or commenting or both. I'll take them all. But otherwise, y'all, it's been fun. It's been so real. And until next time, you guys, love you. Bye.